2009, RPM had a BMW X3 as part of our long-term test fleet, so naturally we got quite familiar with the car, and to be honest, it wasn't my favorite. But now, there's version 2, and of course BMW are claiming it's better in every respect. And I hope they're right. We went to Nelspruit for a drive in the new X3 and found out pretty quickly that, as far as the open road is concerned, this is a far better car. It not only looks good on the move, it feels worlds apart from the old one. The first impression of the X3 is that it's like a small X5. Now you might think, well, that's a bit of a cop-out. BMW are just releasing a smaller version of something they already have. But it's not a bad thing, because the X5 is a very good-looking car, and the old X3, well, it was horrible looking. So starting from a clean sheet of paper rather than giving it a refreshed look was probably the best thing they could have done. The new styling is the most obvious change, and it's done a lot to move the X3 towards the all-encompassing BMW family look. It's bigger, it's sleeker, and it has way more presence and style than its weedy predecessor. There are all the obvious BMW design cues like the big kidney grille and the daytime running lights, but the best thing about this car is that its dimensions are spot on. It's not small, and yet it looks more sport than utility. That sport theme is carried over to the engine. Even the diesel isn't short on ability. There will initially be only two engine choices in the new X3. One is a 3-litre turbo petrol, and the other is this one, a 2-litre turbo diesel with 135 kilowatts and 380 newton meters. You can opt for a 6-speed manual box, although our test car is fitted with an 8-speed automatic. BMW's claimed combined cycle fuel consumption figure for this engine is 5.6 litres per 100. Although if you want to match those figures, may we suggest you avoid Nelspruit and its surrounding roads. Given the space, the diesel X3 is more than happy to deliver decent performance, and as a bonus, you're surrounded by trees just about everywhere that will suck up all the extra CO2 you're pushing out. One of the reasons I disliked the old X3 was because it was just a tool. Sure, you could load it up with stuff and it would take you here and it would take you there, it would go off-road, but it was just a tool. You couldn't get any enjoyment out of it. But this one, from the moment you get going, it feels different and more involving. And it's not just because of the stronger engine or the smoother gearbox. It's also because of things like the completely revised suspension and options like sport steering and dynamic damper control that lets you adjust the ride setup to suit road conditions. The combination of diesel engine and well-sorted ride setup gives the X3 great response in all sorts of conditions, although once again, the 8-speed gearbox sometimes feels like overkill. There always seems to be one too many downshifts required, especially when overtaking on uphills. But otherwise, this is an SUV filled with driving enjoyment. That driving enjoyment starts with a thick-rimmed steering wheel in your hands, and then when you do find a decent set of corners, the permanent all-wheel drive uses clever electronics to cancel out any oversteer or understeer, and what you get is pure traction and real drivability. For all of you who think that this kind of car is only good for the school run, well, here's proof that this SUV doesn't actually mind getting dirty. We hit the dirt in some of the area's many spectacular game parks and found that the X3 will easily take on less than friendly conditions and come out the other side unscathed. There were a few minor bumps and scrapes here and there, but these certainly weren't your average dirt roads. The X3 has permanent all-wheel drive, and its standard hill descent control system came in handy a few times and works well thanks to its variable speed settings. If you're lucky enough to get the time to do a bit of game spotting, this is one of the more comfortable cars in which to do it, although the color scheme isn't exactly compatible with the great outdoors. It packs the usual BMW bits, including iDrive and all its capabilities, and the options in our test car included a panoramic sunroof and full navigation system. This interior isn't just about 463,000 rands worth of luxury and toys. It's actually quite versatile. Yes, the materials are good and the functionality and the layout is all very BMW, but it's also got things like a bench seat that splits 3 ways. And with the seat folded down, you can fit 1,600 litres in here. That's a lot of shopping. And the X3 doesn't mind if you're into trawling the malls or hitting the road to a distant destination to see a bit of wildlife. This car is happy to fill either role and will do it really well. The new X3 isn't just an improvement over the old one, it's a completely different experience. It now has a great combination of style, comfort, versatility and real driving enjoyment. In a segment of car that already had the bar set pretty high, BMW have managed to raise it just a notch.
With 135 kilowatts and 380 newton meters, this is the X3's most muscular 2-litre turbo diesel yet, allowing ample urge, while an 8-speed auto adds refinement. The overall package represents a big improvement on the original on all counts, but the price tag will make most eyes water.